It was truly incredible. A massive crowd gathering for an emotional scene in Arizona Sunday to honor and pay their final respects to Turning Point's USA founder, Charlie Kirk.
The memorial drawing one of the largest public turnouts ever for a private citizen. Some people actually had to be turned away after the stadium quickly reached capacity several hours before the memorial was even scheduled to begin. But they weren't sent out away. There was other places for them to go.
Faith leaders and friends of Charlie coming together to speak at an event or at the event, as well as Charlie's wife, as you see there, Erika, who remembered her husband's legacy and revealed her thoughts about his alleged assassin.
My husband, Charlie, he wanted to save young men just like the one who took his life. That young man. On the cross, our Savior said, "Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do." That man, that young man, I forgive him.
That is the moment everyone is talking about this morning. President Trump then took the stage to honor Charlie's legacy, hailing the Turning Point USA founder as one of the brightest lights of our times.
America is a nation in grief, a nation in shock, and a nation in mourning. Less than 2 weeks ago, our country was robbed of one of the brightest lights of our times, a giant of his generation, and above all, a devoted husband, father, son, Christian, and patriot. Charles James Kirk was heinously murdered by a radicalized, cold-blooded monster for speaking the truth that was in his heart. He was violently killed because he spoke for freedom and justice, for God and country, for reason and for common sense.
The president then finished his touching remarks by bringing Erika Kirk back up to the stage as America the Beautiful played throughout the stadium.
What a moment. I think it's important to note the president's embrace of Erika. Erika doesn't have a father. And so that hug meant so much on many occasions. You saw her as she joined the president. I think it was about 3 or 4 times where she just rested in the president's arms. It was a big moment.
He was praised for his unwavering Christianity. He defended traditional values. He defended the family. The New York Post today, the headline is, "I forgive him," with Erika hugging President Trump.
Yeah, he's a girl dad. He knows how to do this, and he sees it an opportunity here to step in. And I'll go back to the New York Times story that you referred to a lot yesterday about when she gave the interview. And she said in a conversation, she goes, "Charlie thought you were felt like he was a son to you. And when the president said, 'Just let us know how we can support you,' I told him, 'My husband just loved conversing with you and using you as a sounding board for all sorts of things. Can we continue to do that?' And he said, 'Of course.'"
I think the moment that we all, as human beings, it really hit us in the gut is the moment she says that this guy that assassinated Charlie, he doesn't even realize that he was the target audience for Charlie. That is an individual that he wanted to save. And Ainsley, as believers, we believe in forgiveness. But it's really hard when your loved one has been assassinated. I don't think I'm there yet. But she was able to muster the strength in her faith to say, "I forgive you."
And it might take her a lifetime to continue to go back to that forgiveness, because sometimes when someone hurts you as a Christian, it is hard to forgive. And you forgive, and then you have to find yourself when those bitter feelings come back up and boil back up to forgive again and again and again. I thought that was an amazing moment. What a witness for Christ. I loved that their minister spoke beautifully, and then did an altar call, essentially. He said, if you don't know Jesus, stand up right now. If you know him, sit down. But if you don't know him, stand up right now. And here's a barcode to scan, and you can learn more about salvation.
That's like the most modern thing you could say to a phrase that goes back centuries.
Right. I don't think he had. So in the church, a lot of ministers, to get people, quote, saved, they will say the salvation prayer. I think he only had 3 minutes to speak, as you were telling me, Lawrence, so he didn't have enough time for that. But at least he asked people to stand up and proclaim their
first step.
Correct. So Charlie is doing all of this, changing the lives of everyone. And as Donald Trump said, it doesn't help the family to know this, but more people know Charlie Kirk in death than they do in life. There were almost 100,000 people packing that stadium. There was an overflow stadium, the Desert Diamond Arena, and there were about 10,000 people there. There were another 10,000 that watched the service from viewing areas, and that doesn't count the millions of people that watched all around not only America, but around the world.
Here's more from Erika.
After Charlie's assassination, we didn't see violence. We didn't see rioting. We didn't see revolution. Instead, we saw what my husband always prayed he would see in this country. We saw revival. He left this world without regrets. He did 100% of what he could every day. But I want you to know something. Charlie died with incomplete work, but not with unfinished business. Charlie and I were united in purpose. His passion was my passion, and now his mission is my mission. Everything that Turning Point USA built through Charlie's vision and hard work, we will make 10 times greater through the power of his memory.
If you want to know how special this was, if you said to yourself, I never saw anything like that, Elvis got 80,000, all right? Elvis got 80,000. Muhammad Ali got 14,000. Martin Luther King Jr. had 150,000 people gathered to watch his funeral procession. I mean, this was according to some estimates, like law enforcement, 200,000, let alone people watching around the globe. And I'm just wondering what everybody thinks, and if this killer was watching this, if his partner was watching this, all those people on Discord were watching this, to understand the magnitude of what has taken place since that assassination.
I don't think we really understand the magnitude until the months to come of this movement. The idea that you were going to suppress this viewpoint, not just religious, but political as well, just by assassinating Charlie. I think the killer himself was sadly mistaken. This has ignited, Ainsley, a massive movement.
Yeah, it hasn't. Tens of thousands of new Turning Point chapters are opening up on college campuses and in high schools. And they're, in fact, having an event tonight. Charlie was supposed to be at Minnesota Twin Cities School tonight at 6:30. And now the conservative figure, Michael Knowles, is going to speak at that event. And Michael was on Fox and Friends First earlier, and he said, I will have an empty chair there that was reserved for Charlie.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.